So if you go to 707, you'll have a lot of links for some of the stuff that you need. So you need to do your Toy Story minimalist poster. Here it says the must-haves. It must have a minimalist design, and there's a link to Google if you want to kind of see what's already out there. It needs to have the title of the movie in the correct fonts. Toy is in one font and Story is in another font. I made Toy Story on this one all in the Story font. You could do it all in the Toy font. Down here it talks about the fonts. The Story is in Gill Sans Bold, which is already on your computer. There was a customized one for Toy, but there is something called Agent Orange and Pizza Dude that are similar. You might need to change the tracking, and this one is one area where I'm going to let you scale it a little bit differently. Their O's are very circular. The Toy Story O is oval, so you can kind of look at it and tailor it to make it look like it's supposed to look. You need to do Disney. They always have Disney and then a dot and then Pixar. The font for Disney is here. It's called Walt Disney font. And then the Pixar font is called Charlemagne. It's on your computer. You just have to track it. So tracking is that space between each letter. And I'll show you how to do that. And then to make it grungy or old feeling or textured, there's a lot of different textured backgrounds here that you can choose from. I'll probably keep this one up and do the crumpled white paper texture. So I would go ahead and I would make this, do a new document. Make it letter, make it inches, don't worry about a bleed. You can call this your last name, first name, I forget how we do this. First name, last initial, Toy Story. It's been a while. And then click OK. I like to view my artboard in my window so I can see what I'm doing. So it automatically went to landscape. I'm going to edit my artboards. I want it to be portrait. Fit artboard in window. There we go. One thing that I think is a good idea is to just Google search Toy Story pictures. One thing that's going to make your movie poster really look realistic, even though you might not, it might be kind of something that not everyone's going to notice, is getting the right colors. So you can take one of these pictures and just kind of drag it onto Illustrator, so then you can get pictures out of it. Not pictures, colors, or pictures. So let's say for mine, I wanted the background the same color as Woody's shirt. So I can click and drag for that rectangle, and then take this eyedropper tool right here and fill it in. There might be a couple different versions of the color, and you just because there's different pixels in there because I dropped in a JPEG and not a vector, until you find the one you want. And then I made the back, I thought about you can think about making the background, if you wanted to do the checked like his shirt, you can kind of click on that red. It's hard to click the lines. Then you know that you're getting colors that work. Just copying some lines to make a quick pattern. So let's say we wanted to do these checks, and I want them evenly spaced. I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to align to selection, align in the middle, and distribute. Then I can take these same lines, copy and paste them, and turn them the other way. So there we kind of have Woody's shirt. Let's say I'm just going to do something super quick and simple. I'm just dealing with colors. I make another rectangle, and I want to go ahead and make it the green like Buzz. And I want to write Toy Story in orange. So I'm going to click Toy Story. If I know how to spell. That was Charlemagne. here. No, that's not Charlemagne. That's Pixar's one. Gill Sands. Not that one. There we go. It was Gill Sands bold. And I'm going to make this purple. Like Buzz's wings. I'm going to align that to my artboard so that it's centered. The next one is having the Disney. So I'm going to click, I'm going to type Disney. I've already installed the font. I can enlarge this so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing. This is Walt. So there's Disney. They have a little circle. I'm going to do my flyout menu. I'm going to hold shift so I get a circle. And then I'm going to type Pixar. That was the one that was Charlemagne. And it's all capitals. And that's too close together. So let's go ahead and look at, do they have Disney Pixar on this one? No, that's just a picture. So let's go ahead and look at what we think it's going to look like. So you can even look, all I did was look up the logos to find the fonts. So it's a little bit spaced out. I'm not going to worry about having the lamp. Let's see, where did that go? View, fit all in window. I'm just doing this to get the spacing, and then I can scale it down. So I'm going to bring that to the front so I can see the Pixar over the top. And I want to get this as close as possible to the spacing. So I'm going to enlarge the P. Oh, I need to hold shift. So that the P matches the size of that. And then I'm going to do tracking. Tracking has to do with the text. If you can't find this, I always do Command T. And this one right here is the tracking. If I do 200, not enough. I got to type in my own. Let's try 500. Let's try 600. Let's try 1,000. Well, that was 100. One more zero. Pretty close, right? Let's try 950. So then I can go in and individually track or kern some of these to make sure that they line up. Does that look good? Okay, I'm going to keep it like this. Now that I know I have it, I'm going to create it to outlines. I'm going to delete this picture, and I'm going to bring it into where it needs to go over here. And that's too big scale-wise, so I'm going to bring this down. So Disney and Pixar. Let's see, view, fit all in window. That looks a little bit far apart. Let's go look at one of their movie posters and see if that's how far it says it on there. So let's do this. Pixar movie poster. So it's actually a little bit closer together. So I misled you. So let's try this again. Pixar. It's going to default to the last tracking that you used, so you always need to make sure to fix that. So it's only tracked a little bit for this one. That will work. Let's get my Disney to scale. Wow, that was pretty good. Back. Disney. I know I'm boring some of you. I'm almost done. Pixar, we're good. Size is good. So there's Disney, there's Pixar. That dot needs to be smaller. And then you got to line it up. So you can just pull in a picture to kind of copy this stuff. Sometimes scaling down something super small is hard, so it's easier to actually transform it and then actually scale it down to get what you want. Let's make these red because we're doing a little buzz theme. Okay, view, fit all in window. All right, I'm done with these colors. I'm done with this. This moved on me. I'm going to select all. I'm going to group it so I can move it onto the page. So there's my minimalist Toy Story poster. Now I want to make it look faded or grungy. I can take these textures. What's nice about these is I think I can just drag them right on top. So there it is. What you need to do then is change the opacity or the transparency. It's under transparency. You can make it like 25. Move that again. You just have to make sure that it's on top. It is going to fade the colors of stuff a little bit. So if you want your text to stand out a little bit more, let's make this like 50 so you can see it better. You might need to lock this layer, or you could always put it on its own layer, add a new layer, put it up there, lock it for a second. I'm going to ungroup this, and then you can bring these guys up to the top too, so that you might want this to stand out more. There might be things you don't want to have it be dulled out. So you can pick lots of different textures to choose from to get a different feel. You have to change the opacity. I would stay away from like the music. I don't think it makes much sense. And I would try to find ones that are the right scale. So this scale is wrong. The darker the paper is, because we're just changing the opacity, the harder it will be to actually see through what you want to see through. And you just want barely the feeling of, I'll move that up there. The grunge effect. You got it? A little bit? When you are done with it, you have a couple of options. Well, as far as how to save it. You need it to get on your blog. You can screenshot it, but that's only if you don't have these things flying out the sides, or if you can very carefully do Command-Shift-4, don't have anything highlighted, and very carefully screenshot so you still get just that black line in so you can define the poster. Or you can do File Save for Web, and what you need to do here is look at this preview and see which one looks the best. So this got pixely to me. You just have to go through and figure out which one looks the clearest in this window right here. And that's what you would save it as. You also need to make sure that Apply to Clipboard is on, because if you don't, then it's going to have all the stuff that you're not going to want to see, because you don't want to have all that. Then you're going to put it on your blog. We good?